Welcome back. Now we are doing the risk and control. Risk and control. This is LO3. So, as a norm, you have to know the objectives of the lesson. So, we have to be able to understand the nature of risk, the methods of controlling risk that we have, the contingent plans. You should be able to understand the disaster recovery and crisis management. So, when we are controlling, like I said, risk management is just management like other management. So there is control. Control, we are evaluating the courses of action available. Then we take action to reduce the loss. So it's like we'll be having different ways of solving, of dealing with risk. But which one is the best? So that is what we mean by risk control. The components of a risk control process are: first, you identify all the potential risks. That is, you have to know your risks, the risks which you are affecting or likely to affect the organization. Then, you assess the courses of action. That is, you choose the best action to take. You'll be having a list, then you should pick the best. You don't just say, I'm using this way to solve the risk. Yes. Core components. What do we mean when we say risk control? Like I mentioned in the beginning, we need to avoid risk. Like I said, it's an unpleasant environment. Who wants a loss? So, you find alternative ways of avoiding. Let's say if you are using a chemical in a factory, but that chemical can have health problems. So to avoid your workers being sick every time, choose another chemical which is not dangerous. Then you avoid the losses and the health hazards. Then loss prevention, you find a way of minimizing the risks or of stopping the risks. First we are avoiding, now we are stopping the risks. Then loss reduction, we cannot stop them, but we want to find a way to cut costs in the event that it happens. What is the lowest possible way to solve this? Separation. Segregating duties can also help to reduce risks. Like people normally connive to steal money. If one person is this approver, is the person who is doing the approval, is doing the signatory, then the chances of that person to steal money are very high. So segregate. Duplication in terms of data, we can have a database which backs up in the event that our lab has been affected or there is a fire outbreak which damaged the computers. Still we can recover our data. That's the backup plan. Duplication. Diversification. Don't rely on one line of business. If it doesn't work, you go to the other one. So that's diversification. So when we are controlling risk, either avoid, stop the loss, reduce it, segregate. This can help you in your organization. What are the risks to assets of an organization? Employees can become honest. Then they become a source of risk. Stealing. Forgery, alteration of documents is another risk which you can expect. Robbery, burglary, theft, destruction of property. These are risks which we can find. So what are the possible solutions to these risks? One, we should have what we call a contingent plan. If this fails, in the event that we don't have electricity, but we are having perishable goods, what do we use? The plan B is have a generator. So having a generator is a contingent plan, or is a plan B. Disaster recovery. Let's say the damage is likely to happen. Then we may need security to cover for the disaster. Then lastly, crisis management. Let's say a disruptive event happened. There is a cut-off, there is a mechanical fault in our electricity, but production is to go on. What should we do to solve the situation? So that is the crisis management. So you should be able to know the risk control strategies. You should be able to know the ways of dealing with threats. You should be able to define what is a contingent plan, which is an alternative course of action. Disaster recovery, when a problem happens, how do we move on? Crisis, how do we solve? So thank you very much. We'll meet again in the next